All right, welcome to Late Night Gun Chat. This is episode 16. See who we got here tonight. We got Brownies for my fat. He's always one of the first people here. All right,
Nice.
I love his name. I resemble that very much. Of course, I'm complete celiac, so it's like gluten dairy brownies for my fat and tasteless. But anyway, he's always here on time and ready to go. The stream is a little slow in StreamYard, so I don't see y'all as quick as on YouTube. So anyway, tonight we got a special guest. This is Noah. Noah is with sanctuarycounties.com. And Noah, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and then tell us about your movement? Looks like
Sure.
Coach is going to join us again. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hello. What I was going to say is I am a Navy veteran. I live in Virginia, and when the Democrats took over in Virginia and, flipped everything blue, they started enacting a number of gun laws that we didn't particularly care for, such as, magazine bans, the likes of what you see in California, and trying to get rid of assault rifles, and making it illegal. Like, you would be a felon if you possessed a magazine that had 15 rounds. It was just ridiculous, the types of things that they were trying to get away with, And so everybody kind of, all the counties across Virginia, you guys probably saw it. Like, they went basically ballistic and started, it was actually the VCDL that actually made the push for the Second Amendment sanctuary movement across all the counties. And it basically spread to probably about 95% or more of the counties in Virginia became Second Amendment sanctuaries. And the reason that I got involved with it, one is because, I was actually, this sucked for me because I had just started getting into gun ownership and getting a firearm, learning all about it, researching about guns and the reasons to have one for self-defense and things of that sort. And then, immediately we have this election and they flip everything and they're trying to take them all away. I'm like, damn it, this really sucks. But what I noticed was that everybody was, they were doing this in these Facebook groups, right? And people were like, hey, can you get this? And we're sharing information about events in these Facebook groups. Like, hey, there's going to be an event at this courthouse. There's going to be one at this courthouse with this board meeting. And, but they couldn't get it out of the Facebook groups. So I'm like, hey, I'm a web designer. I could do something here, make it so that people could share this stuff outside. And then initially I only really got involved to help with Virginia. But then I saw that it was spreading outside of Virginia. And I'm like, well, I mean, this is pretty cool. Maybe I should get involved in that as well. And so instead of just making it a local Virginia thing, I actually just kind of opened it up for all counties across the entire country. So that's kind of how I got to where I am at this point. We're still tracking it, and it's still actually happening.
Cool. Now I'm going to share my screen a little bit. Let me say hi to Clover. He's here. Clover, how you doing, man?
Hey, gentlemen. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no problem. So this is Noah, and Noah is with sanctuarycounties.com, and he's got the movement and the information out there to do this kind of thing. I'm going to say hi to everybody in the chat first because we were a little slow on that. My computer's a little slow on that. So we've got Brownies for my fat, 67 Rebel SST AMC, Alaska One Andy, Grizzly Crazy, American Fitness, Clover Tack in the chat again. James Pugh, Veteran Dad Tactical. He's got a cool little channel he's starting up. He's doing a lot of 10mm stuff like me. Go check out Veteran Dad Tactical. Make sure you check him out. Same thing with Lever Guns 50, Lakeview Outdoors. Go check them all out. Dan O'Neill, great guy, great supporter of the channel. Appreciate it. Daniel Elk.Washington or Daniel K.Washington. Sorry, I saw that. I see ELK together. I see Elk automatically. That's how my brain works. Cool. Found my way here via Jump. Glad to see you on the 2K community. So active there. Yeah. So this is how I met Noah. Is the jump.com or which Tactical Toolbox put out a few weeks ago or a few days ago about the Jump, which it's exactly like Facebook. You can do everything you can on Facebook, but it's designed to be very group oriented, versus post everything about your life thing. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's where we met. I saw Sanctuary, that's his name. And so we started talking and decided, let's bring him on the chat. Let's talk about his thing. So if I'm going to start sharing my screen for a second here. So first we'll say, so this is the jump, and yes, it doesn't look like it's going to be pro free speech and all that kind of stuff, but according to Mr. Guns and Gear, Iraq Veteran 8888, and Tactical Toolbox, they've all talked to the owners and said, yes, we're going to be very pro-freedom. Yes, we support the Second Amendment. Nothing's going to happen there. We'll see if that happens, but this is how we met. There's a great Caliber crew. I started my own jump or group on ballistics videos, and I've been sharing from Gun Sam and Buffalo's Outdoors and even Kentucky Ballistics and a few other people on there, and of course sharing my own videos because I need to make money. But anyway, I'm kidding, of course. So yeah, if you are looking at the jump, go sign up there. You can find me, Alaskan Ballistics, and this will be a place where we can discuss stuff without fear of Instagram or Facebook banning us for a while. We'll see how well it works. All right, so now I'm gonna come on over. Can you all see Noah's website right now? Is that yeah. Let's stop sharing that. Let's share Noah's website, and I got to get to the right button. I'm not a professional at this yet.
You'll get there.
All right, so this is Noah's website, sanctuarycounties.com, and he's got maps of every state, just about.
Well, I'm working on it. I got the national maps up. It actually, I mean, you don't realize this, but I mean, it takes a lot of Photoshop work. And you know, I gotta take all the county data and import it into a mapping tool, and then isolate a state, export it as a PNG, and then import it into Photoshop and whip it up so that it looks nice on a map. So I've been working on state maps. You saw that in the Jump app. But we got also, if you scroll down, there's you'll see like all the counties that have declared Second Amendment sanctuary status. I got videos from board meetings. Those are cool. You see across the right-hand side, you got categories. Mm-hmm. There's a section there for states, and you can see we got more than 900 states or counties across the country now that have declared sanctuary status. And you can go check your state out and see which counties have declared Second Amendment sanctuary and which have not actually. And, whenever I get all the state maps up, I think I got about 6 or 7 so far, the state maps up. You'll be able to check state by state, but you can always pull up the national map. That's one of our biggest things that we do. We've been doing from the beginning is the national maps. I decided lately to do the state maps because I feel I've gotten a lot of feedback. People actually want to see how their state is doing, aside from, the national map, as a whole. So, I've been doing the state maps lately.
Cool. Well, I'm originally from Georgia. Now I know Alaska has
that's a state level.
Yeah, pretty good state level. So looks like I used to live in Troup County, Georgia, so that's kind of cool. It's just right next to Harris County, and I don't think Evans is down south, but
yeah, actually, Alaska also, Kenai Peninsula, I believe, borough, Kenai Peninsula borough.
Yeah.
They recently passed a Second Amendment, pro Second Amendment resolution as well. So I haven't put it on there, by the way. I'm a little backlogged because I've been doing all the state maps, but usually I try to get them up as soon as possible. The latest one that I published was New Hanover County in North Carolina. Yeah, okay. North Carolina. And I got a couple on the back burner. Also, let's see. Yeah, like I said, I got some videos on there that you guys can watch if you want to see the board meetings. But you see that link across the top that says resolutions?
Okay.
All the way on the right-hand side. Yeah. Mm-hmm. These are all... if you scroll down a bit, you'll see I got every single county that I have a resolution for. I actually have the signed resolutions in most cases, but in other cases, as long as I can get some kind of a draft of the resolution, I have it there. It's probably more than 300 of the resolutions now. And I started doing this because there wasn't anybody tracking this at the national level. And I felt like this was, given the scale of all of this, I figured that this was a kind of a national movement that somebody should be archiving. And so I decided that I was going to do it. There's actually a Wikipedia page that has been doing this as well. But they were kind of, if you look at their page, it's like probably more than 100 references pointing to my website, they were basically just copying the stuff that I was doing. And it's not just me, by the way. There's another man helping me out, another veteran.
Right.
His name is David Tripp, and he's done a ton of work. So I don't want to claim credit for all of the. He's done so much work on this too. It's been really a joint effort on this as well.
Okay, awesome, man. All right, so let's see. First of all, we normally drive this chat with viewer questions. So what I want to know is, I'm going to stop with the screen share right now. First of all, Clover, do you have any questions for Noah here with sanctuarycounties.com? Anything you want to ask? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I don't. As we move along, I'm sure I probably will. I want to reference the resolutions that are in there, and say how that is a really cool idea, because there's still a lot of counties across the country, and especially being from Texas, it's sad we don't have more counties that have passed resolutions and done things here in Texas. It should be a lot greener on the map than what it is. And the question that I hear most often when I talk about, the involvement with this county and what we did and other things, people ask, well, how do we get this started? And, having access to the resolutions from other counties is nice, because you could actually take those and present those to your commissioners or whoever it is that handles that for your county. And they can use that as a template, right?
That is correct. And in fact, that is one of the reasons that I created that page, the resolutions page, because I wanted that information to get out to everybody, not just, be stuck behind like a paywall or stuck, lost in my website somewhere and nobody really knows, where to go to find those resolutions. I wanted to make it, at the top right there in our navigation, so you could get to it easily. But also, as you were mentioning, like, how do you actually become you're welcome. You were mentioning how to actually become a sanctuary county. I actually wrote, I published this on Christmas 2019. I published this. There's a post called How to Become a Sanctuary County. If you click the little search button there, or the magnifying glass there, and you type in you'll see it, how to become a sanctuary county. I dropped the link in private chat there. And this, I was just kind of documenting like the process that we went through in Virginia in my county. And I mean, I got a whole bunch of information that you could use to like try to start, get started if you wanted to do this in your county. And one of the main takeaways of that is that this, nobody's going to do it for you, man. You got to actually get up and go do the work. You have to get up and, either drive down to your sheriff's office, go talk to your county board of supervisors. You got to make some phone calls. You got to get in there and do it, because otherwise it's never going to get off the ground. You go to, you can actually go to your local gun shops. You can go to the gun ranges. You can get petitions signed. A lot of this is, when I see these board meetings, and like I said, I've got recorded videos of these board meetings. These people will come in with like 1,200, 1,300, I've seen maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people signing petitions to get this put on, in front of the board. And that's how they're getting this stuff done, by actually going out and getting work done. Not by, tweeting, not by hashtagging or memeing or, something like that. So if this is something that you wanted to do in your county, I got some steps for you right there. If you wanted to look that up, how to become a sanctuary county, in the search box. And then of course the resolutions, you can just take the language that you want, and craft your own, something that'll work for your county. Because just so you know, like not all the counties are going to pass the same exact stuff. Some counties don't even like the word sanctuary. We kind of stole that, to be honest. We stole that from the liberals' sanctuary cities concept. We're like, well, if you can make a sanctuary to break, federal immigration law, at least I'm sure we can have a sanctuary to uphold, federal gun law. So that we kind of just took it away from them basically and made it our own.
They've hijacked our language for so long, turnabout's fair play, right?
Yeah.
Just nitpicking on this just for a second. Do you think it would be better if you had the how-to somewhere more front and center on this website? And is that something that you've thought about doing?
No, I actually haven't thought about it, but you make a good point. And I believe when I first did it, you know what? No, that's a good idea. I should probably have that up there somewhere.
Well, I mean, if we had more green on the map, maybe not, but that's what aggravates me is look at all the Midwestern states and look at like Wyoming and those should be all green. That
Yeah.
people should do this. This is one thing that a problem that I've got, and I had it with Virginia. It's great that Virginia did what they did, but what if they would have done this 2 years ago? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let's do these 2A sanctuaries before people are trying to cram anti-2A stuff down our throat. Let's be proactive about this. That's my stance on this whole 2A sanctuary thing, or constitutional sanctuary, or whatever you want to call it.
You just hit on something important, and this is becoming more the case now that we've seen what's going on, what these little tyrants are willing to do in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. There have been more counties that are not necessarily. At first, when I saw this kind of stuff happening, I thought they were trying to water it down, and so that it didn't appear to be just about the Second Amendment, which was my goal initially, was to uphold, and support the Second Amendment. But we're seeing these counties that are they're passing like Bill of Rights sanctuaries, constitutional sanctuaries, and because they're saying, and I watched the board meetings as well, they're saying, hey, it's not just the Second Amendment that these people are trying to trample upon. They're trying to, they're trying to take down a lot of our other rights as well. Freedom of speech, freedom of assemble, like things of that sort. And so they're actually passing resolutions to uphold the entire Bill of Rights, the entire Constitution. So, that's something that I've been seeing more of. I actually been in discussion with the Wisconsin Grandsons of Liberty, and they were asking me, hey, is this like, do you still consider this a sanctuary? And I'm like, well, is the Second Amendment in, the Bill of Rights? Well, then, yeah, I still consider it. Yeah. Is it part of the Constitution? Yeah. All right. I still consider it for my map. So I think it's good to go. And I'm glad that they're upholding even more, like I support the Second Amendment, but I also support the rest of it as well.
All right. Booger Dog here. Political business has to be done off camera, out of public viewing, so you get a fair listen to. Classic wheel getting the crease. Moms that want lard types slurp up attention. Yeah. You got a good point. You were saying nobody's going to go do this for you. You've got to get out there and you've got to make the county commission or borough here or parishes in Louisiana. Whoever said that in the chat, I saw you. But yeah, you've got to get out there and you've got to go to your board and you've got to present this information and say, hey, look, we want to make sure that you are a sanctuary for that. So,
yeah, just so you know, somebody mentioned Tennessee earlier. For those who aren't aware, they are in the process, and I believe it's passed the House. There's a House bill. I don't know the name of it, the number or whatever, HB something. But it passed the House. They're trying to make Tennessee a sanctuary state. Similar to Alaska. So while we do have some counties in Tennessee, but they're trying to do the whole state. So that's pretty awesome as well.
Are you from Tennessee or?
I'd like to go. I'd like to live there one day. It's pretty nice. I visited Nashville back. We went to the Grand Ole Opry. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, my mom's family's from Tennessee, hence the orange right now, which is not quite the right color, but everything's if you're on East Tennessee, everything's orange. Orange tees this, orange tees that. That's good. So looks like Mississippi has 27. So good. R4 Mississippi Thunder has a good little channel. Go check him out. And thank you for the support, man. But he's got a good little channel, and that's that. Come on, Clover Tack Parish. Come on now, you don't have to be that harsh. They were founded as a Catholic colony. They were founded by the French.
I'm a neighbor, man. I can rip on them. My wife's also from Louisiana, so
all right.
Good. All good, man. All good.
Being from the South, we had it used to be that South Carolina made fun of Georgia as the rednecks that don't have any teeth, and Georgia made fun of Alabama, and Alabama made fun of Mississippi. Mississippi, whether they should or not, made fun of Arkansas. Arkansas made fun of people from Louisiana, and I guess it stopped there because I hadn't heard of people from Louisiana make fun of Texas.
That would be a death sentence. Why would they even attempt to do that, right?
Yeah. Well, we Alaskans make fun of Texas all the time because they say if you cut Alaska in half, Texas will be the third largest state.
I got 3 words for you, though. Republic of Texas. Mic drop.
Yeah. And Texas is the only state that can by contract when it leave the union, if I'm not mistaken.
Theoretically speaking, yes.
Yes. Doesn't mean the rest of us couldn't do it, because I think the Constitution is a contract or a
Right. No, yeah, it is.
But that's what it is. So
there was something else that I wanted to point out, and this is, I've seen this, people asking this in Facebook groups. Just so you know, there's tons of Facebook groups. If you go on Facebook and type 2A or Georgia for 2A sanctuary, or maybe not Georgia. Georgia has one, but I don't remember what it's called. But like, put your state and then type for 2A sanctuaries. You'll see a bunch of them. And then if you type in 2A sanctuary and your county's name, you might be able to find one. A lot of counties are creating their own Facebook a lot. This has been driven a lot on Facebook, although I do worry about Facebook cracking down on 2A related materials or conversations and whatnot. But one of the questions that that I've gotten a lot in Facebook groups when people asking about, hey, why are we even doing this? Because you'll see, like in the news, you'll have like politicians talking about the fact that these resolutions are non-binding, and that they don't actually have force of law. And that is correct. And they say they're just they're just symbolic, and it's true. That is correct. But one of the reasons that we do this, and one of the reasons that I recommend people do this, is because, as I mentioned earlier with the petitions, this isn't like, when we did this in my county, we ended up with over 1,200 people that showed up at a board of supervisors meeting. And I mean, you'd be lucky to get 12 people to show up to one of them things. They're boring as hell. But so we had like 1,200 people show up, and they showed up and they were getting those good. Sorry, I'm not cursing. They were getting those people registered that night to vote. They were getting signing petitions, signing up to support the local like Virginia Citizens Defense League, Gun Owners America, Virginia Gun Owners Forum, stuff like that. They were signing them up for all that stuff. So it's not only about getting the resolution passed. It's also about getting people together and getting them to support a common cause. So anyway, I just thought I'd point that out.
Okay. Oh, I remember Teddy Two Guns. I remember you. He met me in the store. So Pat, Real Man of Genius, is joining us. This is Noah from sanctuarycounties.com. And so if you have sanctuarycounties.com, I would highly recommend you go do it. But he's got your Tennessee map already done, and he's got all sorts of great information, videos, how to become a sanctuary county. So we're talking with him tonight. So you just talked about, Noah, the non-legally binding. And so that's what I wanted to bring up. I was talking to you about it in the pre-chat, is if a federal law is passed, let's say it's a magazine ban, 10 round capacity magazine ban, right? And the Supreme Court has not declared it unconstitutional, or did declare it constitutional, whichever, either they didn't do the negative, or they did do or they did do the negative and they didn't do the positive, whatever, it's still standing as law. Technically, the supremacy clause of the Constitution says that, federal law rules above any other law in the land, including especially state law. And I believe it's Article 5. So if the Supreme Court says, and of course, that, hey, the magazine ban is constitutional, or they just don't deal with it like they did the last 10 Pro 2A cases and just throw it out. Is there any teeth to this? Can I live in a sanctuary county and not expect the federal or the state government to come after me?
So there's a couple of aspects there. Now, by the way, I am not a lawyer, nor do I play one on TV. So grain of salt there. But there's been more than one type of document being passed. There's resolutions, and then there's so they call them sanctuary resolutions or pro Second Amendment resolutions. But then there's been, in some states, they're pushing for Second Amendment sanctuary ordinances. So like I said, not a lawyer, but my understanding is that the ordinances are actual laws at a local level, whereas resolutions, like I was mentioning earlier, are more they're more symbolic in nature. However, so that's one aspect there. But additionally, something that we take into consideration is that one of the big drivers in Virginia for these sanctuary Second Amendment sanctuary counties has been the sheriffs. And so I've been actually listening to these sheriffs. I don't know if you've seen some of their videos when they're talking at these board meetings, but they're saying, hey, I'm a constitutionally elected officer, and if I see a law, if you enact a law that I deem to be unconstitutional, I'm just not going to enforce it. So, I mean, maybe I would take the tenor of your sheriff, your local sheriff's office, if you want to take the chances in your jurisdiction. But I mean, our sheriff has said, hey, we're not going to be arresting you for that. Not in our county. And then I don't know if you saw, but the attorney general, I believe, it might have been the attorney general in Richmond, but they were basically like, they started taking revenge on the sheriffs because they were talking about the fact that they weren't going to enforce any of these unconstitutional laws that were coming out of Richmond. They were basically talking about cutting their pensions, cutting their pay, doing all this other stuff to them. And it's like, really? So who do you expect are going to carry out your laws here, your gun laws, if you start docking the pay and cutting the pensions of all these officers? So I don't know. I thought it was pretty disgusting myself, but the sheriffs have been taking a big stand on that, and so to me, it's just like, hey, I'm following the Second Amendment. I don't recognize your ability to like take away my Second Amendment rights. So, and that's kind of where this whole thing is based on.
Loads of Bacon here. Now, Loads of Bacon has the Reloaders Network. He does a lot of work over there, and I think he owns the website, and that's a pro 2A video site that I use as my primary backup to YouTube because I actually get views there, and there's a community there. It's still federal law that marijuana is illegal, but several states have gone the other way. It's very interesting. The way I see it is the way the marijuana case goes is the way 2A sanctuary is going to go.
That's actually been a common argument as well. It's like how, and when they're arguing about, it's like, how can you hold us to one standard in the 2A community, and then you can let these people who are doing illicit drugs get away with breaking federal law or breaking laws in your jurisdiction, and then try to punish us for like upholding laws in your jurisdiction. So
I'd say the primary difference is, though, marijuana doesn't have a constitutional protection.
True.
Say, you can say 10th Amendment maybe, but go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
No, the way they're getting away with it, marijuana is legal at the state level. They're not going to prosecute you, but if the feds want to come in, they can still nail your butt to the wall. So all you're doing is basically, when the states legalize it, they're just saying that we're not going to prosecute you on our level. It's like I said, if the feds want to come in, they can nail your butt to the wall. So it's still federally illegal. It's just the state level is focusing not focusing there. They're just looking away from it.
That's kind of like a corollary to what we're doing as well. So like you're saying these people are saying it's legal at the state level, but it's illegal at the federal level. Well, we're saying it's legal at the county level, but illegal at the state level. So
no, what you're doing more or less, what I've noticed here lately. See, Tennessee lately, you drew up the map. I haven't seen the map, but I'm sure you've seen this massive wave of 2A sanctuaries across Tennessee. One of them primarily being Blount County. I've got a couple buddies that set up a range in Blount County, and they had a neighbor that wanted to go down and film them and complain about the noise. And they're out in the county, and they're not under an ordinance. But basically what happened was the lady went to the county and said, hey, look, they're over here making noise. They're scaring my horses, blah, blah, blah. The county guy said, look, we're a Second Amendment sanctuary. What that does is says to our politicians that if they do anything against the 2A, that they're not going to get reelected. So it's more of just a strong gesture. It's not, you're not setting any laws. You're not doing anything like that. It's just a strong gesture. So you are standing up. My local county did stand up and say we're a Second Amendment sanctuary. That county did too. And all that's doing is saying that locally, if you do anything against it, then you're probably not going to get reelection. So, you're not adding any teeth to anything. That's the way I see it. It helps in situations like that.
Well, I think you also saw, and I don't know how much you guys were actually following it, but we also saw in Virginia, a lot of the crazy gun laws that they were planning on passing, they didn't get passed, because if you see like you see the sea of green and you have a couple little spots like where they didn't pass it, almost the entire state said, hell no, you know, we're not going with along with that, with them kind of laws. And they saw the writing on the wall. So like what you were saying just now, this is a good way to show your local politicians, hey, this is how we feel about it. And when you show up with a stack of like 2,000 petitions or, you know, signatures to a resolution being introduced, that's a really good, way to show your politicians exactly the way the people in this locality feel about their Second Amendment rights.
Well, I
Yeah.
see it as, it's in a way, it's a metaphorical line in the sand.
Mhm.
And if you draw that metaphorical line in the sand, can somebody step over that? Sure they can. Can somebody erase it and draw a new line? Sure they can. Or what are the repercussions, right? And so that's kind of what we're looking at, is that these are those metaphorical lines in the sand. And when we passed the 2A sanctuary here, everybody knew it was gonna pass, but I still stood up. I was the only one. There was several people that had the presentation, a speech, because you get to speak for 2 minutes, before the commissioner's court here. And I was the only one to stand up and read mine. And there was a reason that I read mine, because I wanted them to know the brevity, the weight of what they were doing. This was not just a piece of paper that they were signing. And I don't remember the exact speech, but I alluded to, the founders and the framers and how they pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors, right? On what they signed, that this, what you're doing means something to the people. Don't just sign it because it's politically expedient or the thing to do. Sign it because you believe it. Sign it because when push comes to shove, you're going to stand behind this as much as possible. And then to the point of the sheriffs, you're spot on. I've been saying for the better part of 2 years, probably. I mean, since Trump's been elected, I've been saying this, that we have got to, as a country, we've got to focus on electing the right sheriffs,
Mhm.
because that literally is the stopgap for most of us. Are they all powerful? No, but sheriffs do hold a lot of power, and especially if you get an entire county's, state's worth of counties, right, in a sheriff's association,
Mhm.
that are on our side. That's an enormous amount of goodwill, if you want to call it that, that's on our side. And to the point of the sanctuary resolutions, or whatever you want to call them, while there may be no teeth, some people say, well, there's not a lot of teeth. Well, it does sort of give a pro 2A sheriff, or pro constitutional, let's say, let's get away from the 2A and just say constitutional. It gives a pro constitutional sheriff the backing of the county, right? So he's not rogue, Matt Dillon, whatever, out there on his own, right? He's got the backing of the county. So it shows solidarity behind the movement.
Mhm. That is true.
All right.
Yeah.
So if anybody in the audience has any questions for Noah, one thing I did notice on his website, I want to make sure I share this out. Let me go back to sharing his website here. And I want to make sure that you guys see this, so that go back on the how to become a sanctuary county. But he does have this support us on Patreon. Running a website like this costs him money, a lot of money. So probably as much as it does for me to have pork ribs and ballistics gel and whatever water bottles I have to shoot rounds at on my channel. Hopefully, some of you guys need to go support him on Patreon. Even if you take $1 or $2 away from my Patreon and go support him, I'm happy with it, because it's all about, keeping the freedom of movement alive. It's not about me making the money. I'll live, but go give him $1 or $2 a month on Patreon. So make sure everybody is doing that, so that we make sure we are doing that. So I just want to make sure everybody. I saw that on his website. He's got a big plus. Any super chats will go to him tonight and running the website. So we hadn't had any yet, but I'm just letting you know, if you feel so inclined, I'll make sure I get him the money somehow on any super chat. I don't hardly get any, but occasionally we do get some. So, help him support. This is a great project, and this is, he's got the how-to, he's got everything going on. So let's make sure we support him in the way, and his partner. Tell me your partner's name again.
It's you'll see his name on a number of the posts if you look at him, but it's David Tripp.
David Tripp, that's right.
Yeah, he's been helping out a lot. He's amazing.
So
he actually did a lot of he would actually call up county boards, like call up their county clerks and stuff, and have them fax him copies of these resolutions. That's how we got so many of them. He did the yeoman's work of tracking it down. I mostly did the web development, getting it ready, and then also being involved in all the Facebook groups and stuff like that. But he actually went, county by county. He created spreadsheets, went county by county, and actually called them up. I remember they were actually trying to charge him to get copies of these public documents and stuff like that. So I don't know. He did a lot of work on that.
Good.
And thanks, by the way. Thanks.
Yeah, we do have a super chat from Leverguns50, who's a great gun channel. So thanks, Leverguns50. So I owe you $5, man. So we'll make sure I get that to you somehow. But that's that. Pelosi is now calling us enemies of the state. Yeah,
saw that.
Not supposed to be the state. It's supposed to be the people. We the people. So yeah. Duh.
Consider the source though, right?
Yeah.
Noah, I just clicked on the donate on the website. It's all I don't know if maybe I'm doing something wrong or whatever. I've been on Patreon a long time, familiar with the platform, and it's taking me to a page, and there's no way, it's not like your homepage that it's taking me to on Patreon. So there's no like immediate way to become a patron, support, and do all of that. So maybe just
touch it up.
Put the bug in your. You may want to double check where you're linking to on that.
No, I set it up, but I don't know. It's been a while because nobody actually supported me. So I'll go take a look at it.
It looks like it's working for me, man.
Well, I mean, but it should come up to a homepage, and even if I click like over there on sanctuary counties, it's bringing me back to the same page. So not something for this chat, and I'm open to helping you out with that.
Well, thank you.
Maybe if you need some help understanding Patreon. But one thing that I would say about Patreon, since we are on the subject right now, is making sure that you've got that homepage, that everything is laid out as far as your mission, and it's publicly visible. There are people that support Patreon causes that I got people that throw $1 my way a month, for example, that support like 100 other things, just random things. So there are people that utilize Patreon to support a wide variety of projects. So you kind of want that homepage in their face and coming up. So,
well, you might have identified why I never got any patrons. So I appreciate the feedback.
Patreon. So CloverTech knows a lot about Patreon. I'll send y'all. I'll have y'all exchange emails at the end. So
yeah, we can work on it.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good. Problem.
Yeah, it took a lot of money to set all this up, and I only did it because I really wanted to support this movement. I wanted to tell you guys something. Do you have? Is there still time in this chat?
Oh yeah, we go when we finish, but I usually take an hour to an hour and 15. Of course, last week it was like 2.5. But,
all right. There's a kind of subscribe. Yeah, I've heard of Subscribe Star. I'll take a look at it. There's actually there's been some movement in the sanctuary concept where we kind of started with the Second Amendment sanctuary, and I already told you about the people starting to expand it out to constitutional or Bill of Rights sanctuary. But more recently, and you'd probably be surprised at the location where this is happening, but in California, we've had a number of sanctuaries that were not Second Amendment related. They were passing, and they've passed these at county levels. They're passing business sanctuaries. They're passing freedom of speech sanctuaries and sanctuaries for church. And I believe in Texas, I think it was Santa Rosa County. I'm not from Texas, so I don't really know all the county names, but they're passing right to life sanctuaries. I don't have these up on the website yet because I got to figure out how I'm going to fragment this so that I can follow those movements as well. But like people are taking this sanctuary concept and applying it to other fundamental rights and not necessarily rights. I don't know, freedom to do business. There's been a mask sanctuary, I believe, in at least one of these counties. They're like sanctuary from wearing COVID-19 related apparel. So they're actually taking it and kind of morphing it into something else as well, which are actually things that I would like to have sanctuaries for. So
Are there?
anyway, I just thought I would point that out.
Do you have any concern when you talk about the other movements? Do you have any concern about making it political?
Me, no.
Because I know a lot of gun owners that are not pro-life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
that doesn't sound like
go there, for them to go there and they're like, oh, this is a pro-life sanctuary county. What, I come here for 2A.
That's a good thing to keep in mind as well when I'm figuring out how I want to do this, because I want to do I want to do sanctuarycounties.com/ Second Amendment, sanctuarycounties.com/ right to life or something like that. I don't know. I wasn't sure how to incorporate it yet. So, but I just thought I'd point it out. This is happening.
Some kind of a central hub that feeds off two different sites.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of what you're saying? Something along that line?
Maybe like sub site or
I would say just a different link bar that says other sanctuary movements, other conservative or other liberty-based sanctuary movements, and then just tell people what they are. If I'm a not a pro-life guy, which I am a pro-life guy, and then I would make sure that I would click on that and go, oh, I am a pro-life guy. Oh, that's cool. Or I'm not a pro-life guy. Let me concentrate on the Second Amendment stuff.
Yeah.
Put it in a little section and a choice. And then if it gets bigger, that's, great. So what can people in my audience do to help you the most besides the super chat and the Patreon thing? Maybe Subscribe-Star. What do you sharing? How often does your website get shared, and what can our audience do to do that, please? Yeah.
Well, okay, so we started out. We were actually getting a lot of traffic. There was a lot more interest until the coronavirus hit, and then that kind of started screwing with the county board meetings, and people had other priorities like food, stuff like that, bills. And so we kind of started losing some traction there, but slowly but surely, the counties have been taking up the Second Amendment sanctuary mantle, so to speak, and like pushing it forward. They're taking them up. There's we've had this resolution delayed, deliberation on this resolution delayed for since March, and so they're starting to pick it up and run with it again. So that's why we've seen a number of new counties doing it, but our traffic to the website kind of dropped. We get, a couple hundred hits a day. So, but if you guys can start sharing some of these, maybe the state maps, national map, everybody loves the national map, but if you see something for your state and you're in a 2A sort of Facebook group, or you got a 2A Twitter or whatever social media account, and you can share some of that stuff, that would be very beneficial. Also share around, and I'll do, that was some really good feedback about the how to become a sanctuary county. I'll definitely add that to the front page, but if you can share that around, because I get asked that question a lot, like, hey, how do I get started? I've had a number of people email me saying, hey, what can I do to set this up in my county? So, passing that one around to people that are, willing to get up and do some stuff, that would be beneficial as well. And yeah, that's about it. Just share it, spread the word.
We have to ask you this. If you could have one rifle for do it all, hunting, self-defense, whatever, what would it be?
Well, I just bought my AR-15. I never actually had a rifle, to be honest. I had handguns. I think we were discussing earlier how I had just started getting into weapons, and then all of a sudden they flipped the state blue, and I'm like, what the hell? I just started getting into this, and now you want to take it away from me. But I finally I decided to go out and get my AR-15 before they banned it. And so I wanted to get one in my hand, so hopefully I could get grandfathered or something. So I mean, since I don't have a really awesome answer for you, it's just my AR-15, man.
Yeah, cool. All right. So what's your favorite handgun?
I have a couple. I have I'm carrying right now my H&K VP9 SK. I like the SK. It's a lot smaller. My VP9 actually kind of sticks out. You could really see it. It prints a lot. So I like the SK. But I do have a 14 round magazine for it. So it carries a decent amount. And yeah, that's my favorite. I had a CZ before. I liked it, but I wasn't as accurate with it as I am with the HK. So that's my favorite one.
I got a chance to shoot one of those little HK VP9 SKs on a video. A couple of them actually. No, just one P2000 SK and one VP9 SK, and those are nice guns. Those are really nice guns.
I like it.
Yeah. I like the fact that not only can you change the back panel on the grip, you can change the side panels on the grip.
Yeah, the side bow.
Yeah, and so that's pretty nice.
I just like the look of it. It's like a Batman gun, man. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
but it shoots great. It does shoot really good.
Yeah, they shoot extremely well.
Walther PPQ looks real similar.
I like it. I like those. I've been seeing them. Those are cool.
My PPQ really reminds me of the BP9. I love the BP9. Don't get me wrong.
I can't stand the way the PPQ fits my hand, but that's just me. They're great guns. Pat, what I do look like you're about to fall asleep over there, man.
So I've been driving all day. I come up to Iowa. I'm shooting at Brownells tomorrow. So
okay, cool.
I've been in the windshield all day. So yeah, excuse my not having a tripod. I'm just holding the phone. We're up here, like I said, in Iowa. I'm with the ARFCOM crew, and tomorrow we're going to go shoot and film and have a wonderful time. Got a Smith & Wesson 460 reserved. Got Colt King Cobra reserved, a Langdon Tactical 92, and then we've all brought some of our own toys. So yeah, today was road trip day. So yes, pretty tired.
Nice. So
if I could shoot, if I could pick one handgun that I could try out right now, it would be the I believe it was called the Alien. I saw it at SHOT Show. It was Laugo Arms, the Alien. I want to check out. That looks pretty sick. I want to see how that works.
They were talking about that one today. Two of the guys here had shot that one at SHOT Show.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Yeah, I want to check that out. It looks really cool.
With what you do now, you can apply for a media pass for SHOT Show. I haven't done it yet.
What?
Yeah, but yeah, as a Pro 2A site, there is no reason why you couldn't go pass out cards and stuff like that. And then the largest gun show is in Oklahoma, Wadamaker.
Yeah, baby.
All about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that could be a great opportunity. And I could probably get you in. We're going to touch base after this anyway. But yeah, I've worked media for that show. It didn't happen in April. It's up in the air as to whether or not it's going to happen in November. But largest gun show in the world, Tulsa, Oklahoma, every April, every November. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'll get with you. We go as media every time, and I could potentially get you in under media, and then you could just walk around and do your thing.
That would be cool. I've never been media before.
You are now, my friend. So, it's so important that like a movement like this gets face to face and people are out there, and you'll get from in Wadamaker. Like I don't fly down from Alaska for a lot of these things. I'm on a tight budget. I'm doing this because it's fun and because I would like to make a little extra YouTube advertising money, and then they'll take it away as soon as I start making money. You know how it works.
I have seen because I've actually walked the parking lot before I've done this. Just being bored. I could be bored, biggest gun show in the world, but occasionally it gets that way. I've seen Alaska license plates.
Oh, so no excuses, what you're saying.
It does happen. I'm just saying.
All right. I can't guarantee this year. I just had a baby and everything, but moving, hopefully closing on the house Friday. So,
right.
Big thing. So NYPrepper says my Ruger Alaska 300 Win Mag sniper for SHTF hunting deer and bear here in the Northeast. There you go. That's a good rifle. I've wanted one rifle. So, Noah, before we go, is there any last parting words you want to say on your website and anything you want to inspire anybody out there to go to their county commission and see what's up on the 2A? Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I didn't have any final words planned, but I would say definitely go in there and check out, look at your state. Also, I'm in the process of building out forums on there. I'm just one person doing all the site development here, so it's a lot of work. So hopefully if we get all of our Facebook groups shut down, maybe I'll have like a refuge for everybody interested in 2A sanctuary discussions. We can have somewhere to fall back on. But for now, if you do have if you're working on passing this in your county and you do, have some success getting it passed, or of a county nearby where they passed a Second Amendment sanctuary resolution, if you could send a copy of the resolution to contact@sanctuarycounties.com, I really appreciate it. That really helps because we do try to get those resolutions up on that. I think that's one of the benefits of doing this website is that we're putting all these documents out in front of people where you can actually get to them and see what was passed in this county, see what worked here, what worked there, and maybe grab some language for your own usage. Also, I would also point out that if you do a Google search, you're going to probably find, if you search for Second Amendment sanctuaries, you're going to find a Wikipedia page. They probably get all the traffic really that used to go to me, to be honest. But they haven't updated their stuff in since April, I believe. And I'm not sure they're actually even doing it anymore. Also, that thing was almost taken down by some crazy liberal professor. I saw it was like a crazy Wikipedia fight in the back end. I was like, wow, what is going on? He deleted the whole thing. And then somebody else resurrected it and he deleted it again. But anyway, they're not up to date. So definitely come to sanctuarycounties.com if you want to see what's the most recent information about Second Amendment sanctuaries across the country.
Awesome. Well, that's great. And thanks for coming on the chat tonight. And, like I said, this is usually, user or viewer driven, just answering questions about guns. And so you've made it a nice breath of fresh air for me, not to be talking about the same, this will stop a bear every weekend. That's good.
Well, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah.
This was a last minute thing, but I'm glad to get here and actually talk about what we're doing.
Yeah. So Clover has a podcast. I'm sure he could get you on. Pat RMG over here, Real Man of Genius. He has a great channel. He could probably get you on. And like I said, I'll try to get you on some other places so we can make sure that this movement doesn't stop at Virginia, that nobody forgets about it, So I'm actually moving into the next borough here in Alaska County, whatever we want to call it. Of course, our boroughs are bigger than the state of West Virginia.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I'm actually moving the next borough north, and it's not quite as liberal as Anchorage is. Alaska is a conservative state with any other conservative state. Its big city is the liberal.
Big cities, yeah.
So I'm actually moving to the next thing up. So hopefully they actually have a kind of a liberal county commission or borough commission, if you will. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to sign off. But Pat and Clover, I want to give them a chance to say something. Pat, go ahead. Anything you want to say?
Yeah. I'm just along for the ride. As for your website for revenue, have you set up a Google AdSense account?
Yeah, that's what's the ads that are running. I don't know if you see them on the homepage right now, but yeah, I have AdSense up and running. I made a whopping $100.
Okay. No, see, I'm looking at it on a cell phone screen. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm away from everything. My computer's at home. Everything's at home.
That doesn't put a dent in the amount I spent putting it up there.
Gotcha. Yeah. But like I said, I'm looking at it. It's the size of a postage stamp, so I couldn't really tell. But that's just because I'm away from my home advantage.
But yeah, no, definitely set up a Google AdSense. Got that running. And I've only had it running for a couple of months. But it's maybe it'll cover server costs. I don't know. Definitely no development costs.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just figure out how to get that traffic up. Throw it on forums, online forums, just external stuff, Facebook. When I first started my YouTube channel, that's what kept everything going, was sharing it. Yeah. And now it just kind of feeds itself. So
I got kicked out of Facebook groups for sharing too much.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Some of them put me on approval. They have to.
Yeah, they do that to me too.
approval.
I'm like, come on, guys, you want to see this? You want it.
This is
You got 2A
pertinent.
sanctuary in your name. Why wouldn't you want to see the map?
Well, no, I mean it's pertinent. It's gun stuff in a gun group. It's pertinent.
Yeah, it's always kind of, I don't know, embarrassing or nervous about. And I think a lot. Well, you might have seen me. I wrote in the Jump app. I was like, I'm kind of nervous like sharing my stuff in here because I don't want to piss everybody off by like self-promoting, but at the same time we got people in there talking about 2A hot sauce, so I'm like, all right, well, if you could do that, I can do it too. So I went ahead and shared it. But yeah, good advice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just making sure you had the Google AdSense to help you with expenses, but sounds like you've already got that.
Yeah, it's the one thing I do got running apparently.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Okay. Clover, any last parting words?
Well, you said the word burrow a lot, and burrow in Texas means something totally different, because a burrow here wears brightly colored blankets and pulls a cart. So I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, I mean, parting thoughts. I do have a couple. I mean, first of all, if you want to follow me, whatever, clovertac.com, and then pick your platform from there. I've got a social media slider, and you can find me on all different places. But I want to speak to what the topic was about, and thank Noah for coming on and for what he's doing, of course. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of counties in this country, and probably some with people out there in the chat. And if your county is already a little bit right leaning, already kind of pro 2A as far as your county government goes, it may be as simple as just printing off one of these resolutions and then taking it down there to your commissioner or whatever, handed it to them and just saying, hey, have you thought about this? Just something that simple. But like Noah said, you got to get off your butt. You can't do it from a keyboard. You got to make that trip down to the courthouse or wherever their office is and get it done. Thanks for having me, Alaskan. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. All right.
I didn't mention. I actually we're on Facebook, St. Joe County, Twitter. We're also on Parler and in the Jump app as well. So if you want to look us up there, we're Sanctuary County most of the place. You can see a lot of our links on the website.
All right. Well, with that, guys, don't forget to go to sanctuarycounties.com, share the movement, share the how-to page, share everything you can, share all of Clover Tax videos and Pat RMGs, and of course, humbly, I'd like you to share mine as well. But this is a big movement, and it's something we need to do. It's kind of it's the last check and balance before the next war of liberal aggression, as I call it, being from the South. So. Y'all take care. Have a good night, and we're going to end the broadcast. And God bless. Thanks everybody for showing up, and we will see you later. New video every Wednesday. Also, I got I think a 25/6 video coming out tomorrow. So, yeah, hit the thumbs up.